Welcome to this edition of The Rebound. Jon Alba here, joined by a very special group of gentlemen. Jaden, Daly of A Daily Dose of Hoops blog. Morey, Hershgordon of the Q30 Sports Beat Report team alongside Dylan Fearon. And we are here at the TD Bank Sports Center as the Quinnipiac Bobcats defeat the Manhattan Jaspers 73-59 in a really important MAAC matchup for the Bobcats. Morey, I want to start with you. How big is this win getting the team back to 500?
John, you start 0-4, you win 5 of 6, get back to 500. Now there's some breathing room. Tom Moore talked about in his post-game press conference. Now they don't play till next Friday. They have a couple days. Take a couple days off. Those injuries, the nags, the knees, the bruises, you can take some time. Then they make the long trip up to Buffalo. But definitely a big win, national television, against the team who knocked you out of the playoffs last year at home. Can't beat it.
Jay, do you think national television brought a little more out of the Bobcats tonight?
Oh, absolutely it did, John, no question. And when Ousmane Dramé comes to play as he did, and he's averaged better numbers off the bench as well, 12 points and a season-high 19 rebounds. Steve Masiello told me before the game that he was going to be a problem, as was Zayed Hurst, who, of course, does what he does best, and he went for 23 points as well. This team has won 5 out of 6, and, of course, the ESPN used publicity in the spotlight got them going. So did the 32-18 run that they closed the game with. And when they go to Buffalo to take on a Canisius team that is 6-3 in the MAAC and doing much better than they expected under Jim Barron and then Niagara, this is a team that's going to make noise despite losing Ike Azatam. They're right back where they were a year ago.
32-18 run. Dylan, I'm going to throw this one over to you. You got to think that was led primarily by the seniors on this Quinnipiac team.
Oh, of course. 4 of their top players are all seniors, and Zayed Hurst was huge late in the game, hitting jump shots, playing incredible defense, holding Shane Richards to 0 points, 0 for 11. Moore and I were talking about this earlier. If you hold a player to 5-7 points, that's impressive. To hold Shane Richards to 0, incredible. Ousmane Dramé with the Spurs and the Jazz watching in the crowd, had an incredible performance in the second half. Justin Harris contributed, and Evan Conti 2 huge threes to get this team going and end the game on a 32-18.
Johnny, talk about the seniors. Ousmane Dramé ran 90 feet down the court to help stop a 2-on-1 break from Manhattan. I mean, that's the senior leadership you're talking about. Forget about the stats. It's up and down the court, possession after possession, and you said it right. So the seniors were huge in that run.
And to add to Morey's point, Ousmane Dramé is still not 100% after recovering from a torn meniscus.
Really.
I think he's still at 80-85% for him to put up the numbers that he did today. With NBA scouts in attendance, it only gives you even more signs of encouragement moving forward.
Ousmane Dramé was asked in the press conference whether his knee is actually 100%. And before he could even answer, Zayed Hurst chimed in, deepening his voice a little bit. It's 87, he said. So we'll see what that means for Ousmane Dramé going down the stretch here in MAAC play. Now, Jaden, I want to turn this over to the Manhattan side real quick. This one's going to hurt Manhattan as we get into the real heart of MAAC play, isn't it?
No doubt, and they're back at it Sunday afternoon against Monmouth, and Monmouth is 6-2 in their own right up there with Iona and Ryder for first place in the MAAC. And then after that, they get Monmouth again on Super Bowl Sunday with a tough matchup preceding that at Dratty Gymnasium against Siena, who defeated Marist tonight. Steve Masiello knows this team is going to be better in February and March, but what concerns me, John, covering this team more often, is their lack of a third established option, especially tonight. Emmy Andujar and Ashton Pankey were the 2 stars, but Pankey's been alternating with Shane Richards for the supporting cast behind Andujar. Shane Richards went 0 for 11 tonight. Second time all season he's been held scoreless. Rutgers shut him out in the Holiday Festival in December. Manhattan needs 3 guys going, and as you saw last year with Beeman, Brown, and Alvarado, when they have 3, they're unstoppable.
You know, another thing, that's a tough stretch for Manhattan because you've lost to Ryder in overtime, and you come here in Manhattan and used to Quinnipiac. Now you've got the run that Jaden mentioned. Another thing about Andujar Andujar and Pankey, 43 combined points. The rest just had 16. It's really tough when you only have 2 guys to score, and we've seen that from Quinnipiac as well.
Guys, I want a takeaway before we wrap this up. Give me your biggest takeaway from tonight's game on either side. Let's start with Dylan.
Oh, it's got to be Zayed Hurst. I mean, 20-plus points again and an incredible defensive performance. He's got to be the leader, as always, the captain, and he was an assassin tonight.
The takeaway for me is Kassim Chandler. Kassim Chandler was one of the 3 pieces in Dramé, Conti, and Chandler to go to the bench when Tom Moore made that change when they were 0-4. He had a tremendous game, 7 assists to 1 turnover in 31 minutes in last year's semifinal game against Manhattan. He was the difference tonight. His confidence throughout the full court was the difference for Tom Moore and their team to sustain a lead and never relinquish it.
I'm going to go up front. I'm going to go with Chase Daniels, a career-high 11 points, had 6 early on, really set the tone, and he's going to be the latest in a litany of Quinnipiac big men When Justin Ruddy was an upperclassman, Ike Azatam came in. When Azatam got older, Usman Drame came in. Then Drame to Justin Harris, and now Daniels with a career-high 11 points. Going to be a matchup problem for Manhattan without Ramel Brown. You saw just how hard it was for Steve Masiello's team to defend the inside, and they've been dealing with this all year, conceding paint presence and easy baskets under the rim. Daniels had a few of those tonight.
Tom Moore, not normally one to start freshmen, but this year seeing the early struggles, deciding to make like Talladega Nights, add a little shake and bake, and change things up. Well, that's all the time we got here on The Rebound, presented by Q30 Sports. You can check out more about this panel. I'll go individually here. Jaden Daly over here at A Daily Dose of Hoops. You can check him out online as well at dailydoseofhoops.blogspot.com. Morey Hershgordon on Twitter at MAAC, and Dylan Fearon at Put the Fearon, and the self-deprecating Twitter plug as well at Jon Alba SFC. I promise I won't tweet too much to bother you, or maybe our follower count hasn't exactly displayed such a claim. But nonetheless, you can check out more about Q30 Sports on Twitter as well, at Q30 Sports on Facebook, same exact handle, and online at www.q30television.com. That's all the time we got here tonight at the TD Bank Sports Center. We'll see you next time.